Hello, year five students again. I hope everybody's doing well. This is Ms. Selma, a new English writing lesson. So in today's writing lesson, we're going to know how to write a non-chronological report, which I believe that you already discussed it last year or took it last year with your previous teacher of year four. So non-chronological, I believe there was one about ants. I'm trying to remind you of everything. So yeah, this is what it means a non-chronological report. First thing, let's discuss each word, report and non-chronological. What's the meaning of non-chronological and what is a report and how to make it non-chronological? So let's take each one separately. Let's first discuss what a report is. Reports are texts that give factual information about certain topic or thing. Again, reports are texts that give factual information. Factual information means facts and truth. Things that are true, things that are maybe scientific. All right? They cannot be imaginary or they cannot be fiction, right? Not like fiction stories that has talking birds and talking animals and so on. All right, so reports are texts that give factual information, facts, truth, or scientific information about a certain topic. There are two ways of writing a report, or actually, okay, we have, or writing these facts. The first one, excuse me, I was just sneezing. All right, so the first one is writing a chronological report. And before we move on, I want to ask you a question. Does this go inside fiction or non-fiction reports? Are they fiction or non-fiction? They are, of course, non-fiction because they give us factual information. They can't be fiction. Fiction are things that are imaginary and not true, not real. All right, so here we go, non-fiction reports. One of the non-fiction texts is also a biography. What's a biography? Is like when you tell the story, the life story of someone or someone's when you tell someone's life in a story or in a book, this is a biography. And it's usually chronological. What do you mean in this? All right, so what do I mean by chronological report or chronological biography, which means talking about someone's life, like Thomas Edison, like last year you took Albert Einstein. So yeah, it was chronological. It talks about his life in or with respect to time. What do I mean by with respect to time? It means that it tells you the story of his life when he was a kid, when he was 1-year-old baby, and then when he became 3, and then when he became 8 and went to school and so on. Again, everything is going in the order, in the same order that it happens. This is what I mean with chronological. Chronological cares about the order, the time. Again, it cares about the time. You tell everything from the oldest to newest, from oldest to newest. This is what I mean when I say a chronological report or a biography of someone. Okay, then on the contrary, which we're going to take now is the non-chronological. If the chronological cares about time, we respect time when we're writing a chronological report, then in non-chronological, we are not going to give any respect to time. No respect to time order of events. Things are just divided into subheadings, and these subheadings are not like a timeline. We're not dividing them according to time or years. No. Okay, so we just don't care about the time in a non-chronological report. We instead care about the ideas. The text is divided into paragraphs. Each paragraph must have or must tackle or include information about one idea only. What do I mean by this? Again, so if I'm talking about ants, for example, and I will talk about certain or different, so my main topic here, my certain topic of the report is ants. And here I want to write a report, and it must be divided into paragraphs, right? It must be divided into paragraphs. And each paragraph must include information about one idea. What do I mean by one idea? I mean, for example, I will talk about ants. I will divide my ideas. The first one, I want to talk about how ants look like. So, and this is going to be my subheading. Under my subheading, I will put my ideas. They have 6 legs, they have 2 antennae, they have no antennae, and so on. My next idea will be what they eat. What do ants eat? And I will write everything related to this question, what do ants eat? And then I will write about how they live or where they live, right? And I will also tackle or talk about everything about where ants live. So this is how I divide my information or my ideas into paragraphs and not into like timeline or with respect to time. Again, in a non-chronological report, I divide my paragraphs into ideas. The first idea, how they look like. Second idea, where they live. The third idea, how they work or what do they eat, and so on. All right. Let's take a look on one of non-chronological reports. All right. So first thing here, in order to write a very good non-chronological report or any report, you must have here we are discussing the features of a non-chronological report. This is the heading. You must write a heading. You can't just go right into the topic. No, you need to give me a heading so I know what are you talking about in this report or in this piece of article or text. Okay, and then we have a couple of small sentences here, or like they're barely 3 sentences. Crocodiles and alligators belong to a group of reptiles called crocodilians. These fierce carnivores means meat-eating animals, have not changed much for millions of years. Today, there are 13 different types of crocodile, 2 types of alligator, 6 types of caiman. All right, what's this called? This is called introduction. I am introducing my topic. I'm not going into any details. I'm just writing an opening statement that hooks or like grabs the attention of the reader, right? Okay, so again, I'm not going into any further like details or anything. I'm just writing an introduction, general comment, a very, very, very general comment. You can just say crocodiles and alligators belong to a group of reptiles, and that's it. This you can just write one sentence as a hook. All right, and then what do we do after we write the hook? We start writing the like we start I'm sorry for this. We start writing our details. We start mentioning our details. So again, we said heading, then introduction or opening statement. And also, what's that? This is a picture, and it has a caption that says, "What's that? Crocodile grazing in the sun." This is a caption. Caption for the photo to describe what is this photo for. It's for a crocodile grazing in the sun. All right, then, very important. This: how fast are alligators? How fast are alligators? Alligators here in this subheading, this is called subheading, and you also took it in year 4, subheading question or question subheading. But we're gonna know this year that they might also be sentences, not just questions. Again, so how fast are alligators? In this paragraph, I will need to read everything related to how fast they are. And pay attention, if there is any information that does not relate to how fast they are, you need to remove them or take them out of this paragraph. Let's read. Alligators such as the American alligator can run fast on land, but they are even quicker in water. So far, so good. To swim, they tuck their legs under their bodies and swish their strong tails from side to side, powering themselves through the water. All right, here is telling you how fast they are and also how they swim. Is this the best subheading for this paragraph? We can also use how can alligators swim, because it doesn't talk about how fast they are all the time. We only have one sentence about how fast they are, that they can run fast on land, but they are faster or quicker in water. But then it talked about how they swim. To swim, they tuck their legs under their bodies and swish their strong tails from side to side, powering themselves. So, yeah, maybe we can change how fast are alligators and make it how do alligators move, right? And then we have the American alligator lives in the southeastern USA in warm rivers and swamps. Does it have anything to do with how fast they are? No. Let's keep reading. It will almost eat anything it can catch, including water birds, fish, and turtles. Oh, is it talking about how fast they are? No. The American alligator will sometimes attack farm animals and that get too close to the water. Some farm animals, they live by the water, like zebra. They really like living by water areas or swamps and rivers. So yes, does this have to do anything with how fast they are? No. So what can we call this paragraph? We need to add a subheading for this paragraph. We can say that this talks about the American alligator. It all tells you about the American alligator. So you can just call it the American alligator because it tells you different information about the American alligator. All right. So the American alligator, it tells you where it lives in southeastern USA, in warm rivers and swamps, and what it eats, and yes, what it attacks, or yeah, where it lives and what it eats. So it's all talking about one type of alligator, which is the American alligator. And then we have the next subheading, which says here, how do crocodiles care for their young babies? Crocodiles make much better parents than many other reptiles. A female Nile crocodile lays up to 75 eggs. Ooh, here is a number. She buries them under the sand. This should be that. In the riverbank, she guards them for about 3 months until they hatch, until the eggs hatch, break, and then carries them gently in her big mouth down the water. She goes on protecting them. What are predators? Predators are animals that would want to eat them for another few weeks before leaving them to fight their own battles. So it leaves them for a while with her, and then she leaves them to fight their own battles because, of course, they're going to go through many fights. All right. Um, I hope everything is clear so far. So, how do crocodiles care for their young? Does this paragraph go well with this? Oops, with this heading? I believe yes. Everything in this paragraph talks about how do crocodiles take care for their young babies. And then at the end, we have some interesting facts. Did you know? They're written in a box. When baby crocodiles hatch out of their eggs, they call out for their mom. Crocodiles and alligators have thick, scaly skin. Their skin is like has a scale, it's not soft, which protects them from being attacked. So it's actually a nice thing. You can tell crocodiles and alligators apart by their teeth. So this is how you can differentiate between crocodiles and alligators through their teeth. When an alligator shuts its mouth, you can't see any teeth in its bottom jaw. When a crocodile closes its mouth, you can see the fourth tooth on each side of its bottom jaw. This is the bottom jaw right here. This one is the bottom jaw. So if the crocodile shuts its mouth, you'll be able to see this one, this tooth, and this tooth. All right. But when an alligator shuts its mouth, you don't see any teeth. Okay, I hope everything so far is clear. We said we must add a heading. Then we need to grab the reader attention by a very general comment or introduction or a hook. You know what's a hook? You know how you get fish? You get them with a hook. The fishing thing, it ends with a hook at the end. So you do the same thing. It's like you're fishing the reader. All right. So you need to hook or grab the reader's attention by your introduction or opening statement. You need to choose a very nice general opening statement. So you cannot say that crocodiles are very good parents than many other reptiles and they take care of their young children. This is related to a subheading. This is related to a specific information. We need very general comment in the introduction part. And then we add picture and a caption. And then we start with subheadings, a paragraph, a subheading, paragraph, and subheading and paragraph. All right, let's take another look at our features of a non-chronological report. Here it is. Okay. All right, here is a diagram that shows everything related to what we just said in a summed up diagram. So first we start off by the heading. Then we need the, I just said it, hook. Hook, this is the hook. Introduction or opening statement to hook your reader. And the hook takes us to, takes us to or leads us to the text. The text must be divided into subheading 1, subheading 2, subheading 3. These are called the body of the text. And then at the end, this line at the end of the hanger, a concluding statement. And by the way, the concluding statement in the crocodile report is the did you know part of the report. This one, did you know? One baby crocodiles and so on. This is like, or you can just choose things that are very general, like things you wrote in the introduction. So again, in the introduction and conclusion, you just write general comments and summarizing comments. You can just see what the 3 paragraphs talk about. For example, this paragraph talks about how fast they are. The second paragraph talks about American alligator and what they eat, for example. And the third one talks about how do they care for their young? So you can just make up a concluding statement with these three about these three subheadings. So you can say alligators are very fast reptiles. They can swim really fast. The American alligator attacks many animals and it's very fierce and very strong. And they're also good parents. They also make better parents than many other reptiles. See, this is a very nice concluding statement that includes every detail you mentioned in that your three paragraphs. Again, you will say that they are very fast. Here I mentioned what's in the first subheading. An American alligator is known for being so fierce or strong and for attacking many animals. And then alligators and crocodiles are known for being very nice parents or better parents than many other reptiles. This sentence, I took it as it is. And this is going to be your concluding statement or summarizing comment. You're summarizing everything you said in detail. You're making them like a summary. Okay, again, heading, hook, HH, heading, hook. Heading is the title, hook is the opening statement or introduction that leads us to the text. The text must be divided into 2 or 3 paragraphs. Each paragraph takes one subheading, and the paragraph must talk about only one idea. And then at the end, concluding statement. I hope everything was clear for this lesson, and we'll see you next time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.